Okay, we're talking about Clarksville, Tennessee today, and I have done videos on Clarksville, but it's been a long time, so I thought I would bring you back up to pace and let you know a little bit about Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville, Tennessee was founded in 1785, and it was named after the Revolutionary War hero, General George Rogers Clark. It was built by the tobacco trades, and the downtown Clarksville area was home to a lot of tobacco warehouses. The town was joined by the confluences of the Cumberland River and the Red River, which made it very, very important to trade at that time, because you had river trade and that's how you got your goods throughout the country. It was actually founded before the state was actually founded. So it is a very historic area, and it has a lot to offer its residents or people coming to the area. Clarksville is home to the Customs House Museum. That was once used as the post office in Clarksville, and it's located downtown. It has a lot to offer besides the exhibits that they do there. It's a lovely venue in which to host parties. It has a lot to offer young children. I know my child, when she was in kindergarten, used to love to go to the Customs House on Sundays, where she could play free with little area kids. They'd go shopping, they had their carts. I mean, it was just cute. So the Customs House Museum is a great place to visit when coming to Clarksville, and certainly a nice venue that Clarksville offers. It's also home to Fort Defiance Civil War Park and Interpretive Center. So that's a really neat place to go to learn a little more history about Fort Defiance and Clarksville when visiting here. It's also home to the Roxy Regional Theater, which is a historic venue in which all sorts of theater projects have been done. So when coming to Clarksville, be sure to go downtown on Franklin Street and check out the Roxy Regional Theater. Clarksville, Tennessee is home to Dunbar Cave State Park. It has caverns that were once used for gunpowder and reserves. It also had big band concerts. If you've watched my earlier videos, which are probably the first ones, I talked about the fact that people gathered from surrounding counties, even came from across the Tennessee River, and came to Dunbar Cave to dance in the caves or for a concert series. My grandparents used to come over from West Tennessee to Dunbar Cave to dance on Friday and Saturday nights. It was a great venue in which to do it. Of course, when it's hot in the south, the caves are cooler, so the temperature is very enticing for things like that. Definitely check out the old pictures when visiting Dunbar Cave State Park, because they have great pictures of maybe your ancestors too, but some really cute snapshots of that type of event. It's also a great place for a concert series even going forward, so they have been known to do that as well. It's also home to Liberty Park and McGregor Park, which Liberty Park is down by the marina, newly developed marina downtown in Clarksville. Absolutely beautiful venue. There's the Wilma Rudolph Event Center that is part of that group at the river. We've got some drone shots of that, but also just a great way to connect, get outdoors. There's Liberty Park Grill that's there, so a nice restaurant down in that area. Certainly in the downtown area of Clarksville, you have a lot to offer, and we'll touch on that in just a minute. But having the McGregor Park and Liberty Park and Rotary Parks are great opportunities, along with Dunbar Cave State Park, to get outdoors and enjoy that live hike, bike, play games, family, community events, and that type of thing. Clarksville, Tennessee is home to Beachaven Vineyards and Winery. Now, I lived in Northern California, so I'm used to great big vineyards and wineries. This is a cute place. It is the oldest single-family owned winery in Tennessee, so that's really neat. It's a wonderful place in the summer for families to gather. They have a free concert series right there between exits 4 and 8 at the Beachaven Winery. So they'll have live music, the kids play in the grapevines. I mean, it's just fun, it's family centric, and great music has been known to come through there. So enjoy those Saturdays in the summertime at Beachaven Winery. You have Old Glory Distilling Company, which also offers tours and tastings, and it's also a venue in which you might decide to get married or host big events, corporate events go down there now. We also know that they have just opened a great restaurant serving the public. The family that started Old Glory certainly has a history here with restaurants. They own the Mail Room, they own Strawberry Alley down on Franklin Street, a couple of great places to go as well. But it's a wonderful venue right at exit 4, and it's something to keep in mind when visiting Clarksville and thinking of things to do and where to go. Clarksville, Tennessee is home to Austin Peay State University. Austin Peay was a governor of Tennessee. Therefore, Austin Peay is known, their mascot are the Governors. So they are great in basketball. They've had a pretty good football team here recently too. They went on up to Tennessee and they gave them a really hard game. So that was impressive. But Austin Peay State University has come a long way. I've grown up in the area. I'm not from Clarksville, but Austin Peay has really grown in its offering to its students and what it does. It's a wonderful and important partner to the Clarksville area. And it certainly offers education not just to your typical collegiate, but to non-traditional students as well. So Austin Peay State University is an attraction for Clarksville, has a beautiful campus downtown, does a lot of offering with the military, has nursing programs. So check that out if you're looking for your alternative and secondary education, your collegiate level, of course, and check out Austin Peay and see what it might have to offer you as a traditional or a non-traditional student. Okay, let's talk about Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell, Kentucky is located right across the line in Kentucky in Oak Grove. Clarksville is not a Kentucky town. Clarksville rides the border, and the actual exits getting to Clarksville on I-24, Interstate 24, going west to Paducah from Nashville, about 45 minutes. Those exits are 11, 8, 4, and 1. That means you're that many miles from the state line and that many miles from possibly working at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Fort Campbell, Kentucky is known as the most powerful rapid deployment post in the world. And I am very proud to have worked with my heroes from Fort Campbell and to have had my family affiliated with that post since my parents moved back to the area in 1976. So I will tell you that they chose to live on the Kentucky side, and a lot of your generals and commanding officers did live on that side. My father covered Bach, which is their hospital. He's a radiologist and cancer specialist, did nuke, and he did that in the 70s and 80s. So we've definitely been affiliated with the 101st Airborne Screaming Eagles for a long time. I've seen some videos out there that say Clarksville is in both sides and on both sides of the state line. That is untrue. The military reservation is on both sides, and a great portion of it is on the Tennessee side. So it's a very important employer to the people of Clarksville. It is a very important aspect to this area, and we are very proud of our heroes and we love them. So I will tell you now that this woman has worked a lot of VA loans because I have been blessed to be back in the area, having moved back from San Diego, California, and being near one of the largest naval bases, to choosing Clarksville as my personal residence in 2003 because of some wonderful aspects about it that I'll list in a minute. One of those being that it was a military town, so important to our freedoms and to the economy of this area as well. Fort Campbell has hosted a few famous people, and people have said that Jimi Hendrix was from here. He's not, but he was stationed briefly at Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell is home to some really big heroes, and you might not know this unless you watched one of my earlier films about it, but certainly a lot of movies have been made about our soldiers and our wonderful heroes at Fort Campbell. Hamburger Hill, that's about some of our soldiers from Fort Campbell. Black Hawk Down, terrible outcome, but good for the good ones, but that was also our 160th out of Fort Campbell, or part of them. 12 Strong, 5th Group. You may know about those as the horse soldiers that started out in Afghanistan, Fort Campbell. We've had a lot, there's a lot more to list, but those, just to name a few, might be something that you might be familiar with. Fort Campbell's very important to the economy, it's very important to our country, and we are very proud to have them come in and out of this area. And a lot of them choose the Clarksville, Tennessee side in which to live. So it's been very good for the real estate. In talking about the real estate, that has, because they're so powerful and because they're so important, that has really made a dramatic change in what this real estate offering has been over my 21 years in real estate. We were always sending them places, they were coming and going, so the real estate market had a very nice increase in value through that 21 years. Unlike Nashville, that has gone up and down kind of like an EKG and AFib. I'm just not even going to sugarcoat it. It has, until COVID came, and Nashville then had a nice upswing in its offering. Clarksville also built homes that were less expensive than the neighboring areas, but they gave you more in their builds. So we were putting granite and quartz in wet areas way before others in the Nashville market. However, we were pricing them much lower, which made them really, really affordable and really attractive. When talking about that and talking about places to live in the Middle Tennessee area, let me be clear that there is only one town that has been listed twice in the last 5 years as one of the top places in the country in which to live, and that's Clarksville, Tennessee. That's not Franklin, that's not Nolensville, that's not Mount Juliet with all those wonderful things that they offer, but Clarksville, Tennessee was named twice in 5 years as one of the top areas in which to live. In 2019, when we were in the throes of the pandemic coming, Clarksville, Tennessee was named number 1 out of the top 100 cities, according to Money Magazine, in which to live for return on investment. Clarksville, Tennessee, that same year was named number 4 out of the top cities nationally in which to live for return on investment by Forbes. Last year, in 2024, Clarksville, Tennessee was again named out of the top 10 cities, according to the Wall Street Journal, out of the top 10 cities in which to live for millennials to buy. Clarksville, Tennessee was number 5 on that list. So the only place in Middle Tennessee to have been named that twice in the last 5 years is Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville, Tennessee is our 5th largest city, but fast coming up on Chattanooga and may become our 4th largest soon. Clarksville, Tennessee has about 180, close, we're pushing 200,000. We certainly have 360,000 in the 4-county area that makes up that demographic. Clarksville is not part or included in the Nashville MSA. It is not. It is comprised of an area that includes Stewart County, Tennessee, Montgomery County, Tennessee, which is Clarksville, Christian County, Kentucky, which is the Hopkinsville Oak Grove area, which houses the Fort Campbell post office. Frankly, when you talk about towns, you're post office to post office. And then also Trigg County, which is on the water. So let's talk about that. We're back to waterways now, okay? You have the Cumberland River, the Red River. You have rivers that take you down to the Tennessee River that are comprised of Kentucky Lake, Barkley Lake, and the Tennessee River. So again, waterways, very important to the area. Do we flood? We sure did. We did in 2010, and our water systems do rise just like any other when you have a tremendous amount of rain. That was a very detrimental flood. It was a 500 to 1,000 year flood that happened in 2010. Certainly to alleviate the massive flooding of 2 million people in Nashville when they opened up the dams in Nashville, it flooded Clarksville more. So when the rivers and the flooding rose to 52 feet in Nashville during 2010, Clarksville crested 62 feet. So we've got a lot of work with our Corps of Engineers, and certainly it is a great place to live. That's a once in a lifetime kind of flood, but yes, that happened, and yes, that affected Clarksville. Why do a lot of people choose Clarksville? People choose Clarksville, first of all, they may or may not have been stationed here in an earlier time, but it's very centrally located to a lot of states. So it's closely aligned, obviously, with Kentucky. You can get to a lot of places very quickly, which is again why Fort Campbell is so important as well. They deploy very quickly. They are called a Joint Force Entry, JFE. And they go with Bragg very quickly, so they can get anywhere in the country or in the world very quickly because of their location. We love that about them. Hope I'm not in trouble for saying it. So anyway, the truth is, it's also such a beautiful area. Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, this portion of it, you have some flatlands, you also have some hills, you have wooded areas, you have the lake, or multiple waterways. So it's rich agriculturally, and it's also beautiful. So people sometimes retire back to the area because they like to get wherever they're going quickly, but they also like to get off the grid a little bit, and they want to have a little more space between their homes. Now, the price and the cost and the price per square foot for homes in Clarksville can vary. Obviously, it depends on who's building it, where it is, the size of the property, and the land on which you decide to do it. But there's kind of an average. This is one of the places where you can still get a home, a first-time home for, you know, anywhere from $350,000 to $400,000. That's nice, that you feel safe in, unlike your bigger cities where something like that might not be in the same type of aesthetically pleasing neighborhood. It doesn't mean it's not great, it just means it's a different vibe. So Clarksville gives you that. It gives you that small town appeal. It gives you that family-friendly neighborhood type situation. We have multiple schools in Clarksville, so if you don't like one, you can move to another neighborhood. You might even enter your child into a different program that is fulfilled at a different school, and now therefore they can go to that one. That's pretty cool about Clarksville. I chose it personally because as a single mom, I was raising a child. I wanted to live well. I could buy a lot of house for a little bit of money, and I wanted her to go to a good school system that academically, according to greatschools.org, was very, very good at the time in which she was in school here. So you want to check that out as well. Greatschools.org or .com, whichever way you go, will get you there, and check out the schools for the address that you might be considering buying, because that's great. They had a lot of elementary schools, like 20. We had about 10 high schools. You had a private school if that was the way you wanted to go. You have magnet school here. So Clarksville offered a lot for its community residents that you might not get in other small towns. You might just get 2 or 3 choices. So I liked that big city feel and that opportunity for my child's education without having to spend $1 million or move back to $1 million tear down on Blair Boulevard where I had lived for a decade. So that was why one of the reasons I picked it. I was also 30 minutes from anybody, I live in an area called Sango, absolutely love it. And all my neighbors are heroes or business owners or both, and I just absolutely felt safe. I love that community spirit, and I love the fact that we were in a situation where we felt that our economy was continuing to go upward, and that any real estate decision we made was going to make us some money. So that feels good about Clarksville. That is something that I've helped my clients realize plenty of times. I'm Felicia Long. I'm with eXp Realty. Like and subscribe to the channel. Throw your comments down below. I'd love to talk to you one-on-one about what's important to you and your family, and decide if Clarksville might be the right place for you. There's a lot of economic development going on in Clarksville, and it's not just military oriented. People go, oh, it's just a military town. Well, you're free because that military, so you ought to like that part of it. But you also have a lot of big corporations coming in. That offers a lot of jobs for people. I think it's a wonderful aspect of Clarksville. And I love the historic downtown charm of this city. There are great restaurants here. Of course, you have all your, I call them brass and ferns, all your chains, your old Charlie's, and all the, you know, the Ruby Tuesdays, the old Chicago's. You've got some great places that you can go on the main thoroughfare, which is Wilma Rudolph Boulevard at exit 4. But you also have some great restaurants that are downtown as well. The mailroom I mentioned earlier, Strawberry Alley is great. On Franklin Street, I love the Black Horse. The Black Horse has the best beer cheese I've had, and I've eaten all over the continent and in Europe. So I'm going to tell you now that it's fabulous. And while I'm talking about fabulous, let me tell you that I would put Edwards Steakhouse and I like my filet charred rare. So I would put their filet up against anybody's in any of the places that I just mentioned. Absolutely fabulous, great environment. You can go casually dressed, and you can have a great steak and a grilled wedge, which I never would have thought I would have had, and just have a wonderful time and in that family environment, but also if it's date night. So great place. And I'd put that up against anybody's, because I like steak and I've eaten everywhere. So Edwards Steakhouse, let me give them a shout out again. Downtown Clarksville, again, wonderful offerings. The cultural look and the cultural feel of Clarksville is very charming. They have some downtown new developments going on, reinventing the river, and some of that is going on off that area, kind of off of the Franklin Street. You know, Riverview is becoming something, and it's really nice. So keep that in mind. There's some great places to shop. I have done a video where I did it with my cousin, and we were talking about out in Sango, Miss Lucille's. It's a wonderful antique venue that has lots of different vendors and things to do at Miss Lucille's. So that's a really cool place. There's family-friendly environments that Clarksville offers for the kids. You've got great dance studios, great gymnastics studios, sporting. They're a big golf intensive area. We had Mason Rudolph from here. We had Wilma Rudolph, for whom the road is named, who was an Olympic runner and never expected to run. She had polio, I think, when she was young, but that's a really cool story. Mason Rudolph, no relation whatsoever, was a golfer. We have a lot of great golf courses in the area. So if you like to get outside and play golf, you don't want to go caving and hiking and biking, they have a lot to offer you here in Clarksville, and they've put a lot of collegiate athletes up in various universities through golf. So that's been noteworthy to mention, as well as your baseball and soccer and football. So lots of great things to say about the Clarksville area, and for families and for visiting. So do I like Clarksville, Tennessee? I do. I've been selling real estate in Middle Tennessee for 21 years. My family developed a lot of Nashville and some West Tennessee, two sides of the family. But I can tell you that being in real estate in Clarksville has been wonderful. It has been something that really made a difference in my family's life, because I got to work with so many great people, and I absolutely love my heroes. A whole lot of them are those. So I'm very grateful for that. You might tells you, by the way, that I don't still work in Clarksville. It's not telling you the truth. You might want a realtor that'll tell you the truth, because they'll lie to you about me. Probably lie to you about anything else. But just a little side statement there. But the best thing about it is I'm 30 miles from my church, which I go to in Nashville because all my family is there. 30 miles. I've lived in Indianapolis, I've lived in Sacramento, I've lived in San Diego. It takes 30 minutes to get anywhere. 30 miles is nothing. That's a nice little drive for me. And I can get on at the 19 and I'm in Nashville within 4 exits. People don't think about that. The drive isn't that bad. And there's other arteries in and out. So if I want to take the country road, I like it, and I'll take 12 or I'll take 41. So the point is, you're not so removed from a big city life if you're living in Clarksville. You're just going to drive a few, 30 miles. So when I'm talking about shopping in Clarksville, yes, they have some shopping. Yes, they have a mall. It has Dillard's and Belk's and a few other places, has Dick's Sporting Goods and, some bigger name brands there. But a lot of us do travel down to the Nashville malls. I'm not going to pretend like that we couldn't be bigger. And hopefully they will see some of that new bigger box stores come through soon. You definitely have for your groceries, you have Kroger, you have Publix, you have your Walmarts everywhere on every corner. And so that works for the Clarksville area as far as your food shopping. So I'm a big fan of Publix, and I'm not going to pretend like I haven't shopped at Walmart because they have everything. So anyway, we have a Sam's Club, but no Costco. So those kind of things are worth mentioning about the Clarksville area and what they have. When it comes to small boutiques of the small town, downtown Clarksville will offer that for you down on the historic Main Street of Franklin Street and Strawberry Alley and that area. So be sure to check out and shop local and check out little downtown Clarksville, because it does have some really neat shopping that you can't get in some of your bigger cities. So in summing up whether or not Clarksville might be right for you, let's talk about when we get on our one-on-one call. We can get on a Zoom, we can get on a group chat if we need to. If you all are in various places, we absolutely want to talk to you. It takes about 30 minutes, so call me, DM me, drop your messages down below. Please subscribe to the channel and definitely leave your messages, because I would love to talk to you one-on-one. Schedule some time and get on my calendar, and we will chat about what's right for you and your family, where you want to be, what your schools are like, what your needs are, if that is something that's important to you about schools. We'll definitely get on a call. We'll definitely talk about what your family needs are, whether schools are important. We'll send you back to greatschools.org and let you check that out. Sports, all those community things that you might need that you might find in Clarksville, Tennessee. Clarksville, Tennessee is definitely Middle Tennessee area. It's in the upper northwest corner of Middle Tennessee, right there on the Kentucky state line. And Clarksville is absolutely a great and booming town that might just have everything you want when it comes to getting homes in various price ranges. If you live in $1 million home in Clarksville, if that were in Nashville, that would be a several $1 million home. So Clarksville has some really cool offerings when it comes to that. Can you live on acreage? You sure can. Can you get it for $100,000? No, you cannot. Can you live on in a $500,000 house and have all of the great perks that you couldn't get in Williamson County for less than $900,000? Yes, Clarksville might offer that for you. So that's a really neat thing to consider when talking about driving 30 minutes into the Nashville market, but maybe you want some different things in your home life. Clarksville might give that to you. It's the same distance into the town. So like and subscribe to the channel. Get on a call with me. I look forward to talking to you. And let's see where we go next.